Hello everyone and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. We are going to be trying in this series to go through career mode here. Kerbal Space Program did receive a new update recently, so I figured it would be a good time to kind of hop back into it. Kerbal Space Program to me is probably one of the best early access examples of a game there is. It's I don't know, just one of those classics at this point that just always fun to hop into. Try your hand at making your own space program, and here we go. So, yeah, so this is career mode. As you can see, we have no upgraded buildings. We don't have anything fancy like that. We are just starting fresh and seeing what all they have changed to the game here since the last time I played it. I think the last time I played it was on stream. The only interesting thing about that is the fact that it's just a little odd. Like I have a lot of hours in Kerbal Space Program. It's just really difficult for me to consistently be able to hop back and forth with all the changes they make to parts and atmosphere and re-entry effects and you know, it's been a while since I've gotten a real good successful career mode out of this game. So hopefully we can remedy that here. And immediately I see this KV1 Onion re-entry model. This looks like one of the new models they add, obviously pretty well inspired by what looks to be an early Russian module here, and it's really nice looking. I like the looks of it. A lot of options. I think this is the door, and it has a nice connection point. Let's see some of the stats here. Let's see, one person inside. Yep. Ejection force. So it does come with a decoupler of some kind at the bottom, I believe. And let's see, collect data X. Okay, that's fine. Ablator, so it's kind of covered all in ablation, which is good. Electrical charge, no. It has no reaction wheel inside of it. So that is a bit of a negative to it. That means we have to control this thing 100% with thrust vectoring or fins. The only interesting thing about that is this. I mean, like, I have a fin, but it doesn't really have a control surface on it for me to actually steer the vessel. So this will be interesting. We just want to launch our first vessel though, and get some science here from the launch pad. If we look here, we have a launch vessel and gather scientific data from Kerbal. So these are kind of basic things. So I want to just see how well this thing performs in the air. I've yet to give it a go, so let's just strap 2 engines on this thing, and let's just see what it all is about. So when it detaches from this lower page, we'll enable our parachute and see what happens with that. And I guess we will need a few fins, so add 3 on here just to keep it nice and straight through most of this. And I don't really want the goo canister because really that would just make it off center on mass. So yeah, let's just go ahead and test this. This is the KV1 test flight, and here we go to the launch pad. Basic launch pad. We don't have anything upgraded, of course, so you know, we do have part limitations, we have weight limitations, all that wonderful stuff. So here it is out here. Jebediah, our first test pilot, hopefully going to do well. Let's just go ahead and just do a crew report from inside the capsule, see what it's like, and also go inside the capsule and see what it's like. We have a good horizontal window here. This is from the door, I believe, and then we get, actually, it might not be the door. It doesn't look like it'll open. That looks more like the door to me. A window off to the right side, a little bit more upwards. A nice tape deck kind of recorder system there. Yeah, some switches, knobs, and our normal command module kind of thing. So our heading is currently 0. We got our radar. We got our other altitude with more accurate above 3,000 meters. Our vertical speed indicator, and yeah, so here we go. Let's get out of this. I think there's also another view for this interior overlay, which is something that was added, I think, after. Wow, that looks cool. I like that view a lot. Be able to see them in there. Okay, So, let's get into space. I think that's what we need to do. So, yeah, spacebar. Here we go. We're gonna actually hold on. There we go. Spacebar. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty quick. And as you can see, I'm pressing keys to turn the vehicle. It's really not doing anything. All right, let's go higher. Let's go higher. Woo! Okay, so this is, I guess, air pressure kind of hits max Q about there, which basically means that the aerodynamic forces are pretty high. It's right up there where the air pressure kind of switches over, where you're really picking up a lot of speed. So at this point, we're going pretty slow. We're gonna be coming back down, and let's see what the detach does for Jeb here. All right, and it detaches like that. So the rest of the module will fall down, hopefully pretty safely. It's not gonna land on any of the buildings, which is good. I don't really need to lose a structure this early, and we will hopefully come down ourselves. I like this ball. It has a really cool look to it. Doesn't that look just really nice? Okay. Inside the cockpit, you know, bouncing around a little bit for sure. It's weird because it looks like there should be a window behind me, because I see 3 windows here. This is, I think, the horizontal. This is the window we look out to the right, and there's a window behind me, but I can't see it while in cockpit view because it's behind the chair here. So that's neat. That is neat. All right, let's come down. There's the first rocket. It didn't blow up. It didn't blow up at all. How is that possible? It actually survived hitting the ground. Well, that's odd. I have, like, never seen that happen before. Okay, well, we'll just parachute on down, collect our mission rewards. So, you know, we have recovered science, and we have launched our first vessel. So the test flight of Jebediah went pretty well, I think. So let's go ahead and recover this. Look out on our lawn and see if that other piece is out there. So we gained, you know, 16 science, nothing crazy. 109,000 credits though. That's gonna allow us to purchase, hopefully, a bit of a bigger ship. So this here, location, interesting. I don't think I have any debris or anything. I swear I saw that thing hit the ground and successfully land, but I guess not. Maybe it was just a bit of a glitch. All right, let's go back to mission control. You can see we have no more active contracts. We still can only pick up 2. So we can either go for escape atmosphere. I think that's pretty good. Let's see, we can do for orbit Kerbal. So escaping and orbiting, basically kind of the same thing in essence, right? You can kind of do both of them easily at the same time. But I don't know if I have enough parts to really go into orbit just yet. Test a solid rocket fuel booster in flight. Now these early missions to me are just kind of designed TD-12 decoupler at launch site. So to me, this is something we test at the launch site on the ground. Basically, we can put a decoupler on beneath our vehicle and test that out. So we're gonna try get into space, a high kind of oblique arc, and then we'll just kind of land off in the ocean. At least that's the plan. So let's see if we can at least get into space here. First, let's go to the R&D center, and we can pick up the first 2 science bits. Now, I play Kerbal maybe a little bit different than some people. I know a lot of people will probably heavily specialize, so they'll kind of focus on like the really important bits so they can do more advanced missions quickly. I kind of go just column at a time. So I had to complete a column before I start going into the next column. It's a bit more challenging. I mean, not by much. I mean, Kerbal Space Program, at this point, everyone is pretty good at it. So maybe for some, this isn't really much of a challenge anymore. So this is our DD12 decoupler. So this is what we're going to be testing at launch anyways. So let's do that. All right. So we have a bit more parts to choose from, and hopefully this will allow us to control our vessel a little bit more. Now, I would be bringing a goo canister with us. I don't think I have a payload, though. No. And I would have just attached it to this ball, but as you can see, without that control surface, once we get up into that second layer of atmosphere, it became a little rough of a flight. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna upgrade to the hammer solid rocket boosters here. And I want 4 of them. And I think this will get us into space easy enough. Now, control, gonna be a bit of a problem, right? So, how do I wanna handle this? That's the issue. Here, I'm gonna... I need a decoupler here, right? Because we need to test that. So we're gonna decouple from this little ring, just so we're off the nozzle, decouple from it. That'll complete that mission, and then we'll hopefully launch into space at this point. Now, I do have a swivel engine, which might be good to bring. Simply... Let's do this. Simply, if all else fails, we can quickly detach this off and hopefully steer the vessel a bit to safety. Yeah, I think that would be ideal. So these 3 hopefully getting us all the altitude we need, this fuel tank and the other rocket there will hopefully get us straight and a little bit of a slower descent so we can survive. So we're gonna go 80% thrust, 90% thrust, 100% thrust on the last one. Try and prolong our flight as much as possible. And for the love of God, we are going to put plenty of fins on this to make this thing fly as straight as an arrow in all stages. All right, I think this will work. We're not at max tonnage, we're not at max parts, so that is perfectly fine. Here we go, KV1. KV1 0G test. All right, we're gonna go up to 0G. Here we go, people. Let's head to our launch platform. We'll drag it out of the building, and we'll see what happens with this little vessel here. Oh, I also don't want all of these to launch at the same time. That would be poor form. All right, here we go. So we're gonna decouple. See, test DD12, we did that. And we started rolling sideways. There's nothing we can do about this. This is... Oh boy. Please don't hit the building. Alright, so we had to do an abort there. Jebediah thinking quickly, going through all his staging. Looks like debris did fly over the Space Center, however. Oh my god, look at that. It is... Okay, so that's going to go out to the sea. And looks like we're fine. So we're just going to grab a crew report over by the center there. We are also going to go ahead and grab an EVA report. He is reporting in. All signs are fine. He actually managed to salvage that little bit of a flight. We got some science out of it. which is good. That's going to help push us forward a little bit. Kind of lost some money though, you know, as to be expected. We lost about 1/5 of the price of the vessel. So this time, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the lower. We've tested that, so we're fine there. Let's see if this thing can actually get up to space though. That's why we built it. So we're going to do a secondary test right there. So we're gonna go ahead and lift off. A little bit slow at the start, but that's fine, slow and steady. As we just gain altitude. Definitely more straight in this time. Hopefully the wings keep some control, but it looks like they are offering little with this roll. We just have this slight roll going on. I don't know what's really causing that. So we just sacrificed the first lower stage. We're just going into this high ballistic arc right now. I mean, we're definitely going to get away from the Space Center, but it seems like this capsule, because it has no real gyroscope in it, cannot be steered quite well. As well as I would hope. We're hitting pretty quick. You can see the aerodynamic pressures on this vessel now. So we're going sideways. We are losing it. We are losing it. The winglets, you know, I mean, they're helping. I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. There we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, alright, alright. So, Jebediah keeping this still. Now we will test the swivel. Now we're gonna burn retrograde, I suppose. Why not? And we are kind of in the grasslands. Alright, detach that. Abort this little stage. Go ahead and deploy the parachute. Start slowing down as explosions and terror rain down from above. That's fine. Alright, let's do a crew report while in the air. He's got some time. Okay. Just floating down ever so gently. As you can see, this is the radar indicator for those of you who do not know how to read some of these instruments. So this is altitude, but this is sea level altitude. You might not be landing on sea level, in which case you want to use your radar. So I'm going to radar down. So we're 100 meters about now. 400, 300, 200, 100. And we should be touching down very shortly. Look at that view. Okay. So second test went all right, I would say. Let's do an EVA report here in the grasslands. Don't know really how to get back inside. Come on. All right, well, that's fine. We'll just recover the vessel from there. I think that was a good little test. Obviously not ideal still. Something that we need to work on. Let's recover the vessel as well, because the crew report's in there. So we have 20 science. That's fine. Can we get anything in the next tier? We can. So there's advanced rocketry. This will give us some bigger engines. Stability probably would be handy at this point. We definitely need more stability control. I could use the MK1 style cockpit for that stability assist with the gyroscope in it. So let's go ahead and research stability. Look at mission control. We can see if there's any other surveys and stuff are best used. The MK16 parachute test. Okay. Here we go. Let's go back into the facility here. Design ourselves something maybe a little bit more stable. Tolerance. I mean, these have a bigger wing area, so stability-wise, they would be better. So, I'm going to attach these to the middle stage, because the middle stage is kind of going to be on there almost the longest. And then we'll do short ones right off to the side of the upper stage. This first stage kind of gets tossed early, so maybe only having the fins on those might work out better for us. I know Scott Manley could probably do this all in one single mission and one single rocket, but this is Uthris. There's a reason. Okay. I think that's fine. Now I could just take the MK1. No, I'm gonna keep trying this new one. Ooh, there's different launch sites. Don't know when those were added, but they are, so maybe we can check out the other launch site eventually and see what that one's more suited for. All right, so we're back here. We're going with test 3. Jebediah looks pretty content in his seat there. Let's do this one from inside the capsule. Okay, so we are accelerating now. See the surface raising. Our trajectory is still vertical, which is good. Starting to tilt a bit though. I tell you, it's just not forgiving. All right, we're gonna go ahead and activate the next stage. A little bit of an explosion, that's fine. Jeb's used to that at this point. You can see as our speed increases and as we interact with this atmosphere, it's just not good. Pretty much the same style flight again. I feel like North Korea at this point. And there it is. That's basically max pressure. So Jeb will abort this one. And we'll just go back to the vehicle assembly. I'm not getting any more science, so for the sake of brevity, he landed just fine. All right. All right, you know what? We're gonna get into orbit. So let's go ahead and use a classic MK1 here. We'll add a decoupler. There we go. Now, I never really liked how this thing looked. You can see that underside. So what I'm gonna do is just select this and move this up a tad. Make it a little bit more flush. In fact, I could do that with all of these. All right, let's do this. Okay, a little bit standard of a rocket design, I think, on this one. Here we go. Back over 0G test. KV1 is no longer attached, so this is the MK1 module. Reaction wheels are normal, and launch. Now, it might be a little bit more of a heavy capsule. Maybe that's the advantage to the other one. It's lighter. But because it's lighter and it doesn't have that control surface, it's just not as viable, I think, as an early option. So we'll head up. Jebediah sitting pretty. You can see our controls are starting to function. The SCACE module. And now that these are actually inside each other, it's not good, I don't think, because what's happening is not getting rid of this dead weight. So this weight here is essentially getting carried up through. Now this one might end up hitting this and blowing it up. It will. I think it will. Or at least it's going to heat it up very warm. But we do not have enough thrust, I don't think, to get into orbit because I moved those. So all that extra weight getting carried, it's just not good for us. So we'll see if this lighter stage can finally kind of get us up there, but I doubt it. Nope, it's too high. I'm gonna have to revert this again and go back to the vehicle assembly building because Uthris done screwed it up. Okay, there we go. I think we'll get it now. There we go. I don't know how clouds kind of get up here so quickly on launch. Kind of an interesting thing to take note of. Definitely feels like I'm just strapping Jebediah on top of like a V2 rocket. I'm wishing him good luck a little bit here. So before this thing runs out, we'll activate number 2. Number 2 activate. There we go. Good separation. We'll start rolling this a bit towards the 90 degrees. So we can start getting an arc rather than a vertical on this ascent. Alright, that's looking fine. Rolling it over. There we go. Now this last stage, it has 100% thrust activated, so this is the fastest stage. And I'm holding right, but it just does not want to roll over, which is fine, I suppose. That's what the last stage definitely is for. So we definitely get into space. So we're gonna go at a 30-degree angle at this point, just to make this as wide as possible. I could have gone even farther than that. Holy cow, Jeb, you know, you were kind of supposed to go at 72, but you're kind of going too quick now. I don't know if we have a good enough vessel to really survive this, to be honest. It'll be interesting. So we're gonna take a crew report once we're in space here. Just go ahead and write down, you know, what it feels like to be in 0G. All right. We're gonna go ahead and also separate. There we go. And just point this a bit more retrograde. Just let the aerodynamics kind of work on it. Now we're going very, very fast on this re-entry. I'm a little worried we're not gonna have time to slow down to use this parachute. And if we can't, then Jebediah might not survive this fall. A lot of G-forces pressing on him now. And 270 is within the parameters. So we have seen space. Jebediah, the first Kerman in space. Congratulations, Jebediah. Kudos to you, sir. Splashing down in the ocean. There we go. And let's just see what how he's looking there. He's looking pretty good. He's pointing vertically, so he's going to land on his back. As soon as we get down into the water here, we'll have him maybe take a water sample. And splash down. There we go. So EVA, do an EVA report. Go back inside and wait for that recovery. All right, so I think getting, who knew it took It takes Uthris 30 minutes just to hit the edge of space, but that seems to be where my limit is currently. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to end this episode here. If you guys enjoy Kerbal Space Program, make sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more creative goodness such as this. And I'll see you all in the next video.